It's always such a pleasure to get to this point that I can say welcome to the 2019 Annual Meeting and Education Day. We're all very happy to have you here today. The theme of AMED 2019 is Ethics, Insight, Innovation. These three words embody the spirit of social work and social service work practice today, and they informed our selection of speakers this year. Ethics. As a registered member of the college, you're committed to professional and ethical practice. Today's speakers will support your commitment by exploring some of the ethical complexities and dilemmas of current practice. Insight. As experts in specialized areas of practice, today's speakers will provide unique and valuable insights into the needs of marginalized individuals and communities in today's society. And innovation. Social workers and social service workers often serve as catalysts for innovative societal change. We're very pleased to present several speakers today who are at the forefront of practice innovation. Indigenous rights scholar Dr. Jeffrey Anslus personifies the theme of this year's AMED. In his keynote address entitled Reconciliation and Social Work and Social Service Work Practice, Jeffrey will draw upon his extensive experience in the community and in clinical and social policy settings to discuss the work of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada. He will explore how members of the college can take up the Commissioner's calls to action for reconciliation, and how social workers and social service workers can integrate and apply their knowledge in relation to those calls to action. We're so pleased to have Jeffrey speak today on this important subject. You will have each chosen 2 breakout sessions to attend today. However, you'll also have the opportunity to review other sessions of interest as our presenters' PowerPoint presentations are available on the college website following the event. I'm pleased to announce that we're also live streaming 4 breakout sessions this year. These sessions will be recorded today. Once produced and uploaded, they'll be available on the college's website and YouTube channel in a few weeks. As you know, we begin the day with the annual meeting component of AMED. As Registrar and CEO of the college, my responsibility this morning is to provide you with a snapshot of the college's 2018 operational activities. The operations of the college are guided by our legislative mandate, as well as policies directions set by Council. The accomplishments that I will report on today are the result of the hard work of college staff and guided by a very capable management team. I'd like to begin by commenting on the college's finances as stated in the annual report and by our auditor Talia Rubin of Crowe-Soberman. As you can see, the college's finances are well managed and its financial position continues to be stable. As has been explained in past years, in 2009, the Council made a strategic decision to approve ongoing deficit budgets in order to draw down in a planned and gradual way on a reserve fund built up in the early years of operations. We're now reaching the point where we must maintain the reserve at a level that's sufficient to ensure that the college can fulfill its obligations as a regulatory body, remain viable in the long term, and move toward a balanced budget within the next couple of years. We're continually aware of our responsibilities to manage college resources prudently, and at the same time, we must ensure that we're well prepared for any potential risks the college may face. Every year, in addition to its annual budgeting process, the college carefully considers cash flow projections. These assist Council in making important budgetary decisions, including setting registration and membership fees. Both processes are critical in ensuring that there is adequate funding to meet our ongoing statutory obligations, fund current projects, and implement new programs, all in the service of our public protection mandate. In fact, it should be emphasized that all of the many decisions we make are grounded in our mandate to govern the professions of social work and social service work and serve and protect the public interest. Last year, I reported on a newly implemented auditing requirement for regulatory colleges to accrue or include legal costs associated with hearings that are in progress at the end of the year and expected to be carried over into the next, when they can be reasonably estimated. This requirement resulted in a significant increase in hearing costs last year. Now that the requirement is in place, you'll note a decrease in legal expenses, which include hearing costs, from approximately $1.2 million to $752,000. Like other regulators, including social work regulators across Canada and internationally, we continue to experience an increase in the seriousness and complexity of complaints and discipline matters generally. Legal services are essential in order for the college to carry out its core mandate of protecting the public from unqualified, incompetent, and unfit practitioners and ensuring rigorous complaints and discipline processes are in place. They're also indispensable for any regulatory body seeking to minimize risk and achieve regulatory effectiveness. I do want to reassure you once again that the college remains committed to the prudent use of legal and other resources. There was also a reduction in the postage and courier line from over 42,000 in 2017 to 34,000 in 2018. This variance reflects our continued efforts to reduce paper, in part through the increased use of an online portal for council members. You may have noticed a significant increase in the advertising and promotion line, where costs increased to $233,896 from $131,787 in 2017. This increase reflects the college's significant efforts in the area of stakeholder and public awareness, and in particular, the employer and public awareness campaigns, which I'll report on in more detail shortly. College membership continues to grow. As of December 31st, 2018, the college had 21,063 registered members, over 1,000 more than last year. This is a considerable achievement that demonstrates a wider and increased understanding of our role as a regulatory body. You'll note from the annual report that 2,135 new members registered with the college in 2018. We were once again pleased with the number of new graduate members who were encouraged to register through a reduced fee in the year that they register, provided that they register by December 31st of the year that they graduate, and the 2 subsequent years. Overall, 1,029 new graduates registered in 2018, and 94% of members renewed their membership. As is the case every year, in 2018, the college submitted its annual reports on its registration practices to the Office of the Fairness Commissioner, in accordance with the Fair Access to Regulated Professions and Compulsory Trades Act. The role of the OFC is to assess the registration practices of certain regulated professions to ensure that they're transparent, objective, impartial, and fair. Last year, the college was recognized by the OFC for its exemplary practices in registration, which included enabling new graduates to initiate registration before convocation and clearly explaining the requirements for translation of documents. These practices improve accessibility and help to accommodate the diverse needs of college applicants. As the regulatory body for social workers and social service workers in Ontario, the college's ongoing mandate is to serve and protect the public interest. To raise awareness of our important public protection mandate, we've launched multiple outreach initiatives. These include the ongoing Employer Awareness Campaign, which is based on strengthening title protection and promoting the benefits of hiring registered social workers and registered social service workers. The campaign is driving engagement between the college and employers through the Employer Communiqué, the college's quarterly publication for employers, and biannual employer roundtables, where employers can engage in direct dialogue with the college. Earlier this year, the college launched its first ever public awareness campaign. The campaign positions the online register as an important form of protection that gives the public peace of mind when engaging a social worker or social service worker. It motivates the public to check the online register to confirm that the practitioner that they're dealing with, someone they understand to be a social worker or a social service worker, is in fact a registered member of the college. As a result of the employer and public awareness campaigns, we've seen a surge in website traffic. Visits to the online register alone have nearly doubled. Social media engagement continues to climb on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and the campaigns have garnered interest and praise from other regulatory bodies. We've also engaged future social workers and social service workers by visiting educational institutions throughout the province and by participating in career fairs. This outreach has allowed us to inform future members about the role of the college, registration requirements and processes, and the importance of professional and ethical practice. As I mentioned a moment ago, we also offer new graduates a fee exemption in the year that they graduate and the 2 years immediately following registration. The college recognizes the importance of title protection to the public and our members. As you know, in Ontario, only college members can use the protected titles: social worker, registered social worker, social service worker, registered social service worker, and their acronyms and French equivalents. It's illegal for an individual to hold out expressly or by implication that they're a social worker or social service worker without being registered with the college. As Shelley mentioned earlier, last year the college worked with the previous government to address its serious concerns about regulation under the Child, Youth and Family Services Act, which set out the qualifications of Children's Aid Society staff. As a result of our engagement, the new regulation was updated to require local directors of CASs to be registered with the college. However, this continues to allow the great majority of workers in CASs to avoid the college's oversight and the accountability that comes with its public protection mandate. While we received a commitment from the previous government to work with the college and the Ontario Association of Children's Aid Societies with a goal of requiring registration of CAS supervisors beginning in January 2019, this has not yet happened. We are, however, very pleased to have had the opportunity to engage with the new government around this issue. We'll continue to work with the government and with our regulatory sector partners to emphasize our important role and relevance in the child welfare sector. In 2018, we were pleased to launch an unregulated practitioners page on our website. This page lists court proceedings that have been initiated against or are in the process of being initiated against unregulated practitioners. We believe that a public listing of unregulated practitioners helps to protect the public from unqualified, incompetent, or unfit practitioners. We also recognize that title protection is important to you in your practice of the professions. The integrity of your titles is something which members value highly, and protecting that integrity is a fundamental duty of the college. The college is committed to providing its members with the resources needed to support professional and ethical practice. In 2018, we updated and published a range of resources to assist members in their practice. We revised the college's PHIPA toolkit and developed 2 practice notes as well as Q&As. We also updated our article on a member's duty to report child abuse and neglect in accordance with the new Child, Youth and Family Services Act. Earlier this year, we created a new ethical decision-making tool for members called Ethics A and hosted a hugely successful webinar on private practice. You can find both Ethics A and the private practice webinar on the college website. In addition to our resources, the college's professional practice department has provided thousands of practice consultations to members, employers, and the public. We delivered more than 60 presentations to social work programs, social service work programs, and workplaces across Ontario. We continue to support our members' ongoing professional development through educational opportunities, such as today's annual meeting and education day, educational forums, and the continuing competence program. To protect the public and ensure accountability, the college considers and investigates reports and complaints regarding alleged misconduct of college members. In 2018, the college's Complaints Committee considered 63 new complaint investigations and released 63 written decisions and reasons. The college's Executive Committee received and considered 29 reports in 2018. 19 written decisions and reasons were issued last year. Regulatory investigations were conducted, resulting in 9 referrals to the Discipline Committee. And the Fitness to Practice Committee held 3 hearings and issued 3 decisions in 2018. The college's Discipline Committee last year held 15 hearings and issued 12 written decisions. As you know, the Discipline Committee's decision summaries are published in the Perspective newsletter and made available on the college website in both English and French. Finally, in keeping with our public protection mandate, we developed a support person program for members of the public who've experienced sexual abuse by a social worker or a social service worker. We're serious about public protection. When Ontarians use the services of registered social workers and registered social service workers, we want them to know they're protected. We look forward to continuing to serve and protect the Ontario public in the years ahead. I want to take this opportunity to thank Council President Shelley Hale and members of Council and committees for their ongoing leadership. I also wish to acknowledge and thank our dedicated college staff. I can't emphasize enough how proud I am to work alongside all of you, and together we continue to be committed to excellence in our important duty to protect the public. So before we proceed with our day, I'd like to remind you that you can join our online conversation on Twitter by using the hashtag AMED2019. Thank you.